everyone! Welcome to my channel Creepy Narratives. Today, I'm thrilled to share more spine-chilling stories that have actually happened to me and others who have experienced these so-called creepy scenarios. These incidents were so eerie, creepy and strange that they had us questioning the very reality that we knew. So, sit back, relax and prepare to be captivated by the enigma of these creepy narratives. Welcome to my nightmare. I think that you're going to like it. Enjoy. Let's start with story number 1. Story number 1. The Haunting Hush. During one balmy summer night, my mundane existence was about to be punctuated by an eerie encounter that would forever alter my perception of reality. As a 28-year-old woman accustomed to brushing off minor oddities as figments of my imagination, I found myself confronting an inexplicable occurrence that defied my logical explanations. My home, a relic of another era, stood as a testament to time's passage. An aging mobile home fashioned to mimic a traditional house, it harbored an uncanny atmosphere that clung to its plywood walls. Within its creaking confines, my fiancée and I shared a life that often melded the familiar with the unsettling. The night in question bore a peculiar aura. The familiar sound of my fiancée's even breathing filled the air, while the worn floorboards whispered their secrets beneath my every step. As the clock struck 2 a.m., I lounged upon our couch, eyes fixed on the television screen that flickers against the darkness. All lights save for a single lamp were extinguished, casting a soft glow upon the corner of the living room. It was in this dim illumination that the ordinary turned extraordinary. A haunting hush disrupted the stillness, a sound akin to someone clearing their throat. My senses heightened, my heartbeats echoed in the silence, and my gaze darted around the room. Was it a trick of the night? My mind's mischievous dance, perhaps. A chill traced a path down my spine, as if the very air held secrets beyond my grasp. My thoughts wavered between rationality and the unfathomable, while the layers of darkness seemed to ripple with a whispered invitation. A nameless apprehension urged me to listen, to probe the edges of my reality. Yet, within the heart of uncertainty, a peculiar sense of calm unfurled. Curiosity melded with caution, guiding my steps toward the source of that enigmatic sound. With a calculated breath, I ventured from the couch, my feet tracing a path toward the laundry room, the epicenter of the inexplicable disturbance. The threshold between rooms dissolved beneath my intent, and as I traversed the doorway, a spectral tableau materialized. My senses absorbed the scene, an eerie tableau manifesting in the muted light. To my left, a spectral figure emerged, a phantom with translucent features, a specter of foggy form. Time seemed to suspend as our eyes met, an intangible connection forged between the realms of the living and the unknown. Within that fleeting moment, all certainties crumbled, and I found myself suspended within a twilight realm, straddling the borders of the familiar and the unfathomable. An enigmatic smile graced the apparition's lips, as if it held the answers to questions long buried within the recesses of my mind. It emanated a palpable sense of wisdom, as if the centuries whispered through its ghostly form. My voice caught in my throat, words unspoken as I sought to decipher the riddle that stood before me. Abruptly, as if veils were drawn back, the figure dissolved into the shadows, a wisp of ethereal essence dispersing into the night. Left in its wake was an indelible impression, a lingering enigma etched into my perception. My heartbeat quickened, yet a newfound serenity blossomed within me, a whispered assurance that the boundaries between our worlds held secrets beyond comprehension. As the night ebbed into dawn, I found solace in the enigma that had graced my living room, a moment that defied the constraints of reality and beckoned me to explore the realms that lie beyond sight. Though the details of that spectral encounter may forever remain a puzzle, the mark it left upon my soul serves as a reminder that the universe teems with mysteries waiting to be unveiled. Let's go to story number 2. Story number 2. Whispering Presence. The night was sweltering, and the air hung heavy with the oppressive heat of summer. I found myself alone in our cozy home, my fiancée away on a bachelor party trip. The soft glow of the TV cast flickering shadows across the room, creating an atmosphere of solitude and tranquility. As I settled into the couch, wrapped in a blanket, a sense of unease began to creep over me. The volume of the TV was low, and I strained to hear any unusual sounds. A subtle noise, like a faint whisper, danced at the edge of my perception. Instinctively, I turned down the volume, my heart quickening. Peering into the dimly lit hallway, I scanned the darkness for any movement. At first, I saw nothing, only the stillness of the night. My rational mind assured me that it was my imagination playing tricks, that the house was simply settling. But an inexplicable sense of disquiet persisted. Resuming my show, I forced myself to relax, dismissing the odd sensation. Just as I started to sink back into the storyline, the faint noise returned, more distinct this time, soft footsteps echoing through the corridor. I froze, my pulse racing, as I once again turned down the TV. The footsteps continued, growing more audible and deliberate, like someone pacing back and forth. My breath caught in my throat, and I sat up, my eyes locked on the unlit hallway. Each step seemed to reverberate through the silence, a haunting rhythm that sent shivers down my spine. Suddenly, the footsteps ceased, leaving an eerie silence in their wake. I strained to hear any sign of movement, my senses on high alert. Then, a deep, throaty sound, like someone clearing their throat, cut through the air. My heart pounded, and a chill spread across my skin. My gaze remained fixed on the darkened hallway, my mind racing. The presence I couldn't see, but felt so keenly, seemed to linger, its invisible weight filling the room. In my gut, I knew that something was amiss, that the normal explanation of creaking floorboards didn't suffice. As I wrestled with my fear, a new sound emerged, the tinkling of ice in a glass, followed by a slow, deliberate swishing. My breath caught in my throat as I listened, my mind struggling to process the inexplicable reality unfolding before me. Then, a loud, unmistakable sipping sound, as if someone was leisurely enjoying a drink. Terror surged through me, and I sprang from the couch, my dog barking in tandem with my racing heart. Adrenaline fueled my movements as I dashed to the safety of the bedroom, slamming the door shut behind me. Huddled on the bed, I clung to my trembling dog, desperately hoping for morning to break this unsettling spell. With the first rays of dawn, I mustered the courage to venture out, my nerves still frayed from the night's events. The hallway bore a haunting reminder, deep, claw-like scratches etched into my bedroom door. I cautiously explored the house, discovering further signs of the bizarre encounter, a cracked mirror in the guest room, evidence of the unknown forces that had intruded. In the aftermath, I relocated, eager to leave behind the sense of unease that had settled over my former home. The whispers in the night, the phantom footsteps, and the mysterious presence remained a vivid memory, a testament to the inexplicable mysteries that sometimes touch our lives. Are you ready for story number 3? Story number 3. Curiosity's Consequence. Amid the carefree days of my childhood, the lively neighborhood on 62nd Street was a constant source of adventure. The year was 1981, and our days were filled with laughter, roller skating, and endless bike rides. Yet, amidst the innocent joy, a dark cloud loomed in the form of Mr. Hinkle. Whispers of caution surrounded his name, a grumpy old man who had a notorious reputation for despising children. Stories circulated among us, warning that he would chase us away if we dared to cross his path. Despite these tales, curiosity gnawed at us, and we embarked on a journey to uncover the truth. Gathered in a hushed circle, my friends and I devised a plan to test the rumors. With trepidation, we began cautiously walking past Mr. Hinkle's house, half expecting him to burst forth at any moment. The initial attempts were uneventful, but an undercurrent of tension lingered, as if the air itself held its breath, awaiting an unknown outcome. As the days passed, our audacity grew, emboldened by our false sense of security. Then, one fateful day, the screen door swung open, and there he stood, a frail yet fierce figure, a wooden cane raised menacingly. We scattered like leaves in the wind, running for our lives, our hearts pounding with equal parts fear and exhilaration. The encounter left an indelible mark on us, a mixture of terror and fascination. Amid our taunts and dares, we had inadvertently awakened something within Mr. Hinkle, a dormant rage that had ignited with our audacious games. The line between reality and our childhood fantasies had blurred, and we had become entangled in the mysterious old man's web. Days turned into weeks, and our once carefree neighborhood now held a palpable tension. Then, as swiftly as he had emerged, Mr. Hinkle vanished from our lives, leaving a lingering sense of unease in his wake. His absence only deepened the enigma, and our memories of that fateful encounter remained etched in our minds.
Let's continue with story number 4.
Story number 4. The Unsettling Halloween. The approach of October brought an air of excitement to our neighborhood, as we eagerly anticipated the festivities of Halloween. Our minds buzzed with thoughts of costumes, spooky decorations, and, of course, the ultimate treasure hunt, trick-or-treating. However, our festive anticipation was soon overshadowed by an unexpected and unsettling figure, Mr. Hinkle. A crisp autumn breeze swept through the streets, carrying with it an aura of mystery. Amidst the laughter and chatter of kids making Halloween plans, a peculiar sight caught our attention: Mr. Hinkle, seated in his driveway, a strange smile adorning his wrinkled face. His appearance was unusual in itself, as he rarely ventured beyond his home's threshold. Clad in a brown fedora hat, a tan jacket, and trousers, he exuded an otherworldly air, almost as if he had stepped out of a different era. On his lap sat a massive punch bowl, its contents an array of tantalizing candy. It was a tableau that seemed to beckon us, a haunting invitation that ignited both curiosity and caution. Drawn by a mixture of intrigue and trepidation, my friends and I debated our next move. Should we approach the enigmatic figure and partake in his tempting offer, or should we heed the warnings of our youthful imaginations? The decision was fraught with uncertainty, as we weighed the potential rewards against the lingering unease that clung to his presence. In the end, our cautious instincts won out, and we chose to remain at a distance, eyes fixed on the old man and his tantalizing display. His unyielding smile seemed to mock us, a cryptic riddle that defied explanation. As we turned away, the memory of that surreal encounter remained etched in our minds, a testament to the thin line between curiosity and the unknown.
Are you ready for story number 5?
Whispering Shadows. The memory of that night remains vivid, as if it happened only yesterday, despite the passing of 2 weeks. It was the insistent sound that roused us from our slumber, a chill-inducing draft slipping through the gap of our perpetually stubborn front door. The apartment, a tale of its own to tell, housed a front door that never quite sealed shut. A history of landlord incompetence and maddening door-related incidents unfolded before us, yet this night would take us to new realms of unease. At the ungodly hour of 3 a.m., my boyfriend's abrupt awakening jolted me from my sleep. He shot out of bed with a question that sent shivers down my spine, a question that hinted at an unfolding nightmare. It was centered around our 2 dogs and 2 curious house cats, setting my heart racing with anticipation. "Did you leave the front door open?" His words hung in the air, laden with concern and confusion. A relentless draft swept through the apartment, a frigid gust that seemed to pierce our very souls. I struggled to emerge from the clutches of slumber, managing to muster a response, a sleep-laden no. As I stirred, I detected a series of faint clicks, the gentle patter of dog claws on the hallway tiles. Panic seized me, my thoughts racing to the safety of our pets. My boyfriend was already in motion, dashing towards the door in a mix of urgency and dread. It was then that I heard it, a voice that echoed with eerie familiarity, soft and cheery yet twisted. A macabre imitation of the tone meant to beckon a loyal companion. The air grew taut with tension, the hallway illuminated by an inexplicable orange glow. A sense of unease enveloped me, each passing second amplifying the surreal nature of the situation. A figure materialized, fleeting and elusive, vanishing from sight as swiftly as it had appeared. My boyfriend's shout of frustration echoed down the corridor, punctuating the unnerving encounter. Driven by anger and instinct, my boyfriend raced after the intruder, his determined pursuit halted only by the unforgiving cold and breathlessness. We stood there, engulfed in silence, the enigmatic figure and their bizarre intentions lingering in our thoughts. Days turned into nights, and the incident remained an unsettling mystery. The residue of fear clung to us, a reminder that the boundary between reality and the uncanny could be thin indeed. Our report to the local animal shelter yielded little more than ridicule, an insubstantial explanation that failed to quell the lingering unease.
It's time for story number 6.
Echoes of the past. In the heart of my quaint hometown, a tapestry of history and charm painted the backdrop to my everyday life. A town known for a positive legacy, the imprint of a benevolent figure shaped its character. Nestled within this tranquil setting, I had witnessed tales of the supernatural unfurl around me, each one adding a layer of intrigue to the familiar streets. Amid the town's attractions, a theme park loomed large, its ghost stories interwoven with the laughter of visitors. Tales of playful apparitions, the specters of children who had met a watery fate in an old pool, permeated the park's ambience. Across the cobblestone streets, the community center's theater echoed with the memory of a maintenance worker, a tragic figure who had chosen to end his life on the 5th floor. As fate would have it, I found myself working at the town's museum, a repository of artifacts rich in history and enigma. The museum's halls whispered tales of their own, with objects shifting mysteriously and chairs rearranging themselves in the tasting area. However, it was the eerie incidents tied to the food lab that left me truly unsettled. One night, the quietude of the lab was shattered by unexplained noises emanating from the nearby cafe's kitchen. An ominous draft permeated the air, and I shivered as the chill crawled up my spine. The sound of banging echoed, seeming to originate from the dishwasher and refrigerator. My heartbeat quickened, and I sought refuge in the safety of the lab's recesses, awaiting the upcoming class. An inexplicable turn of events saw a dead walkie, a device typically silenced during classes, inexplicably spring to life. The unsettling sound of garbled voices reverberated through the silence, a phantom communication that defied explanation. My colleagues' account furthered the mystery, tales of chairs that moved of their own accord, a recurring cycle of activity that captivated and confounded us. However, the most chilling story emanated from my boss, recounting a series of inexplicable occurrences involving a wheelchair. Repeatedly, the same wheelchair materialized near our entrance, only to vanish inexplicably by morning. The unexplained return of the wheelchair continued, as the hospital's personnel retrieved it each time. Yet, when left untouched, the wheelchair disappeared without a trace. The echoes of these encounters linger, defying explanation and leaving an indelible mark on our peaceful town. The spirits of the past continue to weave their enigmatic tales, intertwining the mundane with the extraordinary in a dance that bridges the realms of the living and the beyond.